Yeah, so I'm Steve. I'm the director of K-State's Biosecurity Research Institute. We've done a lot of SARS studies at the BRI. So the BRI, for those of you who are not familiar, it's wholly owned and operated by K-State. It's a government facility. We're a one-of-a-kind facility. There's nowhere, anywhere in the world that can do what we do under one roof. And our uniqueness is that we have research capabilities. We do research, education, and training. We have capabilities to study foodborne pathogens, pathogens of plants, and then pathogens of animals, including livestock, and including zoonotic pathogens that infect people as well. So we've got everything covered under one roof. There are bigger facilities like NBAF that focus on animal diseases. They've got a list of 7. We've studied 33 pathogens over the last 15 years. Our researchers have brought in funding of about $180 million since 2006. One of the things Laura was talking about, SARS-CoV-2. So we were the only building on campus that didn't close, I think. And the upper administration, everybody at K-State was very, very helpful in enabling us to do research on SARS-CoV-2. They basically said, you're a safe, secure environment, you've got the right people, get on with it. And we've done a lot of studies in different animal models, multiple different species from, and then we were the first lab in the world to prove that SARS-CoV-2 could not infect and be transmitted by mosquitoes. People had said that, but nobody had done the research. So that was a big study. The mRNA vaccine that has been used widely to protect people against SARS-CoV-2 infection, we were actually instrumental in testing mRNA vaccines way back in 2017. It was a vaccine developed for Zika virus, and we were the ones that provided all of the wild type virus to challenge primates that were being vaccinated with mRNA vaccines. So that was kind of cool. I mean, and that research was what got the Nobel Prize a couple of years ago. A huge amount of training. We're adding to the workforce almost every day. I've got about 20 principal investigators, about 150 people come into the lab throughout the year. We've trained well over 600 people to work in this sort of high containment environment. We train our own researchers, their collaborators, industrial partners, NBAF. We're training researchers, technical support staff, maintenance, and operations people for NBAF. So we have a lot of work with NBAF. It's a relationship that we're very proud of, and will last, we think, a long time into the future. We certainly hope so. What have we done? We publish a lot. Our researchers have published in high impact journals. We've had over 700 publications from research conducted associated with the BRI. Somebody is calling me. Oh, my phone's back there. I can hear bells, you can't, I hope. And then let me think, what else have we've been doing recently? Beth mentioned the biologics development module. The beauty of having that in the BRI is that we have the capabilities of going from concept for a vaccine or a diagnostic through testing. So the sort of vaccines that our researchers are designing, and we've got patented vaccines that have come out of the BRI. We can really do that applied research because we can take those vaccines, inoculate them into animals, and then do the challenges with wild type to see if those vaccines really work. And what we've just moved into the BRI, I think last week, Beth, is a bottling machine. So we can actually, we'll be able to design the vaccines, produce the vaccines, and actually prepare them, formulate them, and put them into bottles like you would see at a surgery at a veterinary clinic or a doctor's clinic, and then reformulate them or reconstitute them out of that and put those into animals. So it's a complete start to finish kind of process that we're doing. Anything I'm missing, Beth? I'm looking for you since I'm sort of talking off the cuff up here.
I've slid so many times, you should know the plan.
Yeah. This is slide 47. No, never mind. Happy to. Sorry?
Anthrax to Zika.
Anthrax to Zika. That's what we've said. We've worked on 33 different pathogens, 15 different select agents. So, you know, we talk about biodefense, we talk about biosecurity, we don't talk about bioweapons and bioterror, but some of the pathogens that we work with have or can be used as biological weapons. We don't do weapons research. What we're doing is the basic research that gives us the information, because information is power against these things. And then we're looking at diagnostics. We've got patented diagnostics for different pathogens. We've got vaccines. We've got testing therapeutics. So we're a sort of a one-stop shop for everything biosecurity. And it's here in Kansas. I still look at this and think, wow, here I am in Manhattan, Kansas. Great support from the community, great support from the university, but not always the focus of attention on people's agendas when they think about this stuff.
What's been your favorite project?
Oh, so for me, actually, I tell you, so these hands don't get into the lab. The heart is in the lab, not sure where the brain is, the hands aren't in the lab area. So for me, the exciting one was the mosquitoes with SARS-CoV-2, because we kept hearing, oh, it can't be transmitted by mosquitoes. It's like, well, it's easy to say, but prove it. So that was the last time they sort of let me in the lab to help with those projects with the mosquitoes. You've heard, I'm sure many of you have heard, one of the new things this year is highly pathogenic avian influenza in cattle. So I think we're up to about 5 different studies related to that. Jürgen Rick just was principal investigator and author on a Nature paper, and some of that work was done here at the BRI, looking at how this virus can infect cattle and so, you know, people say, you know, what's next? I don't know. If we knew what was next, we'd be working on it. But SARS-CoV-2 IPATH in cattle has sort of demonstrated to us we're pretty darn nimble. We try. It would be nice to be ahead of the game, but we're always pretty much on the ball. I shouldn't make sports analogies up, but yeah.
You maintain like a website with all publications from BRI once they're published?
Yes, we do. Yeah, we try and update that, try and keep up to date as much as possible. Yeah, so the website is there, and it sometimes feels like everybody in the world has my email address because I get so many emails a day. Yeah. Any questions?
Questions about BRI or all the things happening in the Little Apple?
Oh, what a great place to be in that.
I think we'll have to revise that. What's that line from the movie? I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
Oh, yeah.
But we are. And,
Ruby slippers, yeah.
Yeah. Great things are happening in Kansas.
Yeah. You know, our ability to, so the select agent program for the United States is that focus on the more high consequence pathogens. That's a nice way of saying dangerous. And I tell people it's a privilege to work on that. It's a huge responsibility. There's a lot of rules and regulations that we have to keep up with. We can be inspected any time of the day or night. Inspectors from US Department of Agriculture, Homeland Security, and Center for Disease Control can show up on our doorstep anytime. Sometimes do, but we're always prepared. We say we're inspection ready at all times.
How many studies can you run at a time in there?
It varies. So, I mean, we've got the food area, the plant area, the animal area with support labs. We typically plan research projects almost a year in advance. And it's a very complicated process, especially for the animal studies. So our occupancy has increased to almost maximum in the animal area over the last year. So we typically run 25 animal studies throughout the year. We close down different areas of the building for essential annual maintenance. So our animal area shuts down from mid-November to 1st of February. So we can do everything. We can get contractors in. I mean, I've got an amazing staff of 35 people who are highly skilled, fingerprinted by the FBI, background check, that sort of thing, because of what we work on. But yeah, we're starting to take in next year's research requests